So we've got some packages just arrived. Some front brake pads, some rear brake pads. Whoop, smash the camera. What have we got there? We've got yeah buddy, it's my new LED headlamps. Sweet. I'll chuck them in. I've got a backup pair as well, so put them aside. And this, if I'm not mistaken, should be my new integrated, yes it is, yeah buddy, my new integrated tail light. Sweet as brother. Oh, what's that? So it's got the indicators and whatnot, so I'll swap that out. We'll do that as well. So what we'll do is we'll pop all these goodies into one box, get all the machinery out of the way. I'm looking forward to seeing that on the bike, and we'll get stuck into it. This is the tricky part, getting it up on a rear stand while it's up on a table on my own. Neutral? That's a neutral, buddy. Right. Stand the bike up, balance it precariously, line the rear stand up, push the rear stand straight down. So currently, this is my tail light situation. Park, brake, left, and right. That's about to change. Radio team, here's the situation. So that's what used to be on the back of the bike. I used to do the number plate, the tail light and high beam. I've replaced it with that one because I thought it would be cool. So that does the tail light, the left indicator and the right indicator. But what it does not have is it does not have a stop light. So people don't know if I'm stopping or not, which is not an ideal situation. So what I'm thinking of doing is I've got the factory reflector here. I'm going to replace it with that little light, which is emits a red LED. I'm going to rewire so that this becomes the new tail light and the tail light becomes the stop light. So then I've got all my lights and no one's going to crash into the back of me. I also put some new, let's go for a walk around here. I also put some new bulbs in the old headlight sticks. They used to be the old yellow halogen jobbies. I'll put some LED ones in there. I haven't used them at night time, so I don't know what they're going to be like. They'll either be good or they will be shite. Rightio, so let's begin. These are the bulbs that were in the bike to start with. I don't know if you can really pick that up, but there's 4 wires for 2 filaments. Each filament has a positive and a negative. Now when you're connecting up a normal bulb into a socket like this, it doesn't matter if you get it around the wrong way because the bulb will still work. I'll show you. So it works that way. If I take it out and turn it around, it still works. With LEDs, the positive and the negative actually matter. So if you're connecting LEDs, make sure that you get it the right way around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to steal the positive and negative from this fitting to attach to the new light, and I'm going to attach this as a park light. So what I need to figure out is which of these four are the positive and negative for the tail light. So the tail light is always functioning on this bike when it's turned on, and I can tell you that it's the top or the longest filament, which is the tail light. So if I follow the terminals from the top filament down, it is the two innermost terminals which I need to steal from this plug here. Now I need to figure out which of the wires, because there's 4 terminals and 3 wires. So what we'll have is we'll have a positive for the tail light, a positive for the stop light, and the negative for the stop and the tail light will be doubled up onto a third wire, and I'm guessing that the earth will be the brown wire. So we'll do a little bit of a test on this. I'll just remove the plug from this little fitting, so I don't need that anymore. Because the electrical system on this is not wired for LEDs, I may have to put a resistor in line with the new LED tail light, but we're about to find out if that works or not. So we've got the positive and the negative for the new light. It's just a case of having a play really to see which is which. Okay, so there we go, there's our new tail light. Alright, so we're going to be mounting the new tail light here. So I was a little bit concerned about this area here. I need to drill through that to mount the new light, and I didn't know what that was for. I thought it might have been somehow connected to the CDI, which is the brains of the bike, but after taking off all the fairing, it's just that little nut there that's supposed to hold the reflector on. So yeah, I'll take that out, and that gives me my hole for mounting. The next problem I have is rewiring the new light so that the tail light in here works as a stop light. So this is my test loom. Hopefully I've got it all right. Right, so a new development. It turns out that this tail light does have a stop light. It was the wiring from the manufacturer, of this light, has stuffed up the order for the wiring plug there. So I've just hooked up my little wiring harness in here with those clips going up to the plug, and yeah, we have brake light and tail light. So I don't actually need the other light there, which is, I suppose, kind of good, but I might use it anyway. Better off being seen. So yeah, cool. For those of you out there that have motorcycles and need work doing to them, I encourage you to try and do as much work on your own machines as possible. The knowledge I have is not through any formal training. I'm not a mechanic, I'm not an auto electrician. I have no qualifications in relation to mechanical expertise. The knowledge I have is through having a go and learning from my mistakes. Also to listening to others and watching others and asking others for advice. So for jobs like this, you can't really go too far wrong, and I get a really big buzz and a lot of personal satisfaction out of doing jobs like this and achieving something. Yeah, it's, for me, that's part of the fun of owning motorcycles, or any machinery for that fact. It might look complicated and it might be a little bit daunting, but don't be scared by jobs like this. Part of the problem I have doing this is I have big fat sausage hands, so when it comes to doing work on motorcycles, getting my big fat fingers into certain places can be a bit tricky, so I rely upon tools to do a lot of the work for me. And we've got this threaded It's going to sit beautifully and flush there in the same gap that that reflector was, and it's going to give a bit more visibility. Should probably really clean this up before I go any further. I'm a little bit of a hoarder too. You know, for jobs like this you end up needing nuts or bolts. I need nuts and bolts for this here, but it didn't come with any. Anytime I'm pulling something apart, like a piece of broken machinery, I have my bolt drawer, and I've got a whole bunch of different bolts, all spare washers and spare nuts, and invariably I end up finding something that I can use. But yeah, it's really handy if you hold on to your nuts, bolts and washers. Okay, so the wires are run. Let's test this bad boy out. So, new tail or marker light. Boom. Righty guys, they're all fitted and ready for testing. So then we've got the tail lights, brake lights, right and left. I reckon they look pretty cool. They're pretty cool.